Welcome back to This Week in Missouri Politics. We're joined in our last segment by two people that won't be familiar to our viewers, but whose work is. Paul Holzer and Drago Geron. Welcome to This Week in Missouri Politics.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
Paul, you're the person in the news the most, it seems. To give you the background, everybody, you two have been part of the Navy SEALs that have been pointing out some of the embellishments, as you call them, in Eric Greitens' record. Eric Greitens has said there are no embellishments and that you're a Brunner campaign affiliate, aficionado?
Whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
You do have some connections to the John Brunner campaign, though, right?
I do.
And those are through the PAC, through his actual campaign? What are they?
This whole thing with John Brunner is really just a distraction for what Drago and I are talking about today.
But it is one that he's pressed forcefully, right?
Sure. If you're familiar with Bain or McKinsey or Boston Consulting Group, consultants come in and answer very tough questions on behalf of clients. I'm happy that my company, Dynamic Solutions, did the exact same thing for Mr. Brunner. If you're familiar, John Brunner ran for Senate in 2012. He spent a lot of his own money to do so, and he didn't really get, the return on investment that he was looking for. So before considering a run for governor, he hired a group of consultants, not just myself, but a team.
He did pay you.
He paid our company.
Yeah.
Yes, he paid our company for the work we did.
Drago, you're somebody that, from what I understand, has no affiliation to John Brunner. Have you ever met John Brunner?
No, I have not. I don't even know who
Would you know him if you walked in the room?
No, I don't know who it is, who he is, and I don't really care about his campaign or anybody's campaign here, except the embellishment and all the lies told by Eric.
Paul, you served in the military,
I did.
And you served as a SEAL. What years did you serve as a SEAL?
I earned my trident in 2005. I was Buds Class 250, and I left active duty service in 2012 after my last tour in Afghanistan.
So you completed training. You were given a trident as a Navy SEAL. Then you served in Navy SEAL units ending in 05?
I'm sorry, no.
You graduated in 05, and when did you end your service in SEAL
2012.
units? Mr. Drago, you were in the SEALs for 20 years?
Yes, I enlisted in 1991. I retired in 2011 as a Navy SEAL.
How many units?
20 years.
How many minutes?
Well, I was with SEAL Team 2, SEAL Team 4. I was a SEAL instructor in BATS. So I deployed to Iraq in 2003, 2004, and 2005.
See, and that's
well, thank you both for your service, first of all, from all of our viewers. Let me ask you a question. We're here to talk about Eric Greitens. You're both completed training, were given tridents, and served in SEAL units. Did you see it? Was Eric Greitens in your SEAL unit? Did you serve with him?
No, I didn't know who the guy is. Definitely, he was not in the combat with us. Actually, what I found out, the guy refused to go to combat with us and decided to bail out in 2004 when we needed people the most, in the heights of the war. When we need any man we could scramble, this guy decided to write the books and leave to become the White House fellow. So as far as I'm still livid about it, because I was doing back-to-back deployments with very short breaks in between and staying extended period of time in Iraq, while this guy is writing books.
So you served in the Navy SEALs for 20 years?
Yes.
During the entire time, I believe Mr. Greitens says his last deployment was in 2007.
Never heard of him.
You never saw him?
Never saw him. Served? Never served. I mean, how could anybody serve with this guy? He never led Navy SEALs in the combat. This guy was either switchboard operator or working support role. He never led SEAL platoon. This is what people don't understand. This guy has no leadership skills. If you take the SEAL, Navy SEAL, away from his campaign, you will have a mediocre individual with no leadership skills and no leadership experience running for governor's office.
Scott, I want to point out.
He's using our community and our tools of trade as a props to propel his scheme to advance his own
So you're saying
agenda.
there's an embellishment.
There's the best way to describe this. I'm in medical school, right? When I graduate and become a doctor, if I was to walk around and tell people just because I have an MD degree that I'm a surgeon, I'm a neurosurgeon. I served and performed all these high-level procedures when I didn't. I just went through the training and received the degree. That's the type of thing we're describing. And by the way, that's why when I worked for John Brunner, it was during the summer in between my year in med school. So it was as a consultant through the summer months, June to August. So I've heard recently that I was the campaign manager and I was, all kinds of different things. It was the same type of work that I've done for Mr. Trump and for Scott Brown and other things.
Well, there are two different classifications. One, if you're connected to one of his opponents, obviously when there's a lot of bad blood, it's going to be viewed different than someone who has no connection.
Yeah, let me make it perfectly clear. I'm not here on behalf of any candidates. I don't know them. I don't know what they do. I don't know who they are. But I'm sick and tired of people using our community and us as a props for their own benefits, riding on our coattails, claiming deeds that they didn't do as their own. It's just, I think enough is enough, and I'm sick and tired of it. And eventually, and this individual here, I think, is best example of such perversion in our community.
And we were trying to describe it on the ride over. Well, how do you take this very technical, kind of nuanced distinction between what he did and what he says? Very hard to understand. I can tell you without a doubt, though, Eric doesn't know what it's like to be next to another SEAL and go through the door on a direct action mission.
He never was.
He's never led guys on a mission like that.
This is like this. Let me just explain very quickly. It's like having a lawyer passing the graduating from law school, but then decide to go sell the ice creams for 12 years. And later on coming back, say, hey, I'm the greatest lawyer in the world. What did you do? Well, I was helping write the letter to this lawyer and that lawyer. That's what he was doing. He was a helper guy. Because I don't think anybody even would want to work with a guy like that.
So going back to, I know I've talked to many Navy SEALs. They all have a problem with addressing the work publicly anyway. But a guy like a Rob O'Neill, they seem to put in a different class because they generally admit he did serve in units similar to what you both did.
Oh, absolutely. I have deep, utmost respect for this guy. Rob O'Neill is a real deal, and he is what he... I mean, he commands authority. This guy knows what he's talking about.
Would you support Eric Greitens if he said he trained as a Navy SEAL and wasn't a Navy SEAL?
He trained as a Navy SEAL. He became Navy SEAL. But this, like I say earlier, this is like with the lawyer. You go to school, you get your degree, but then you decide to sell ice creams. That's where I put Eric Greitens.
Did you have an issue with Eric Greitens if he didn't put himself first as a Navy SEAL? Because, I mean, undoubtedly, his claims that the video was made by a former Bruner supporter, those turned out to be true. His claims that he's a former Navy SEAL is what he tells everyone constantly, no matter, you can't know anything else about him, really. Mm-hmm. If he did not say that, would you have a problem with his campaign?
Neither Drag or I. We want Eric to run on his own record, his own merit, whatever ideas and things he wants to bring to Missouri, just not basing it as a core tenet as being a SEAL.
Do you worry the connection to a campaign is going to undercut this message?
I'm not, because I'm being very forthright and, there's nothing to hide. And that's one of the reasons that both Drago and I felt it's very important just to talk about it.
You're 20-year veteran of the Navy SEALs.
Yes, I came here because I got sick and tired of individuals like Greitens dragging our community to the mud and using us as a prop to their own advantage. I don't get involved in this type of things, but then after the video showed up, who these guys made, he started calling them cowards, all kinds of names. So you know what? I just couldn't sit down on the sidelines and just watch an individual who
well, he did say you were afraid.
Who bailed out from
combat.
Campaign
campaign said you were afraid to come forward. You're forward.
Well,
20-year veteran of Navy SEAls.
I'm
Do you believe the viewers watching this show have been misled by Eric Greitens' campaign?
Absolutely, absolutely. The guy, his message. As how great a leader he is. What did he lead? Who did he lead? Take this Navy SEAL title out of it, and we have pretty much nobody. The guy didn't lead SEALs, definitely didn't lead SEALs. He was working as a helper guy, support guy. It is an important role, but this is not what we designed for. We go and fight. The sole purpose of us to exist, units like ours, is to fight war. This guy went to support. First, he left to write books, and then went to as a support guy doing the jobs that, for me it is very disgusting.
Well, thank you both for your service. Thank you for joining us here on This Week in Missouri Politics.
Thank you.
See you next week on This Week in Missouri Politics.